Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam. Good morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Whoa, that's kind of loud in my ear. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Monday, February 26, 2024. Can't believe I almost said 23. We are here in the Java Cafe. It is Black History Month. It is Black History every day, all day, 24/7, 365, 59 or 60 seconds of every minute, 60 minutes of every hour, 24 hours of every day. We are making and moving in our Black history. And one of the themes of the last couple of weeks, or last week rather, was Black voices and Black media. And we are continuing that conversation this morning with a young woman who is from Boston University. She is a candidate. Let me go to the flyer right here. She is a candidate for her BS in journalism. She is from the Bronx, and she is coming so we can unveil her voice today as one of the queens in this country that is moving to keep our narrative told by us. And so without further ado, I would like to introduce you all to Mariam Hydara. I think I got that right. And if I didn't, please correct me, because I believe saying names correctly are important.
For sure. Yeah, you did. Hi, Jimmy. What's up?
Nothing much. It's Monday. I'm up. It's one of those mornings. I got up at like 8:40. And so I got all this wonderfulness together in the last 20 minutes.
Literally same.
So I appreciate you being here with us. We're talking this morning from the theme of unveiled voices, or voices unveiled. And first of all, please tell us about yourself. Say good morning to the Java family and tell us a little bit about who you are. And then I would love to hear your journey into journalism. It is so important to have our voices represented. And so I would like to hear about that. But please greet the audience and we'll go from there.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mariam. As Jimmy said, I'm currently a senior at Boston University, majoring in journalism, minoring in psychology. It's very insane to say that I'm a senior. I still have to remind myself every day. I'm originally from the Bronx, New York, born and raised through and through, nothing else about it. My family is Gambian in West Africa, and I'm just here trying to graduate college, trying to secure a job, ideally in a TV or radio news station right after graduation. And I've been blessed enough to have a lot of experiences in various internships and clubs throughout the year to make me feel prepared to get a job outside of college.
Okay. And so you're looking to stay here in Boston, the good old bean.
No, I'm looking to go to New York. I miss home. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Boston is cool. It's a great place to go to college, I'd say, but I miss home.
Listen, I lived in Brooklyn for 6 months. So,
that's it.
And I worked in, don't do me. It basically, they figured out that I was coming down there to replace the person that was training me, and it became hell. And I had to leave because I felt like, I remember one day she said something to me, and I literally remember, I said, if I put my arm over that way, I won't knock the screen over if I get her. And I said,
oh my gosh,
that is totally not my character at all. Time for me to go. And so it wound up being 6 months. Obviously, it was meant, for me to come back here and do this. But being, in Brooklyn for 6 months is interesting. Coming back to Boston.
Exactly.
And so I think it's the 7. What train goes up there? All the way up the J. And there is
I don't know Brooklyn that well, so.
And there's a new line over on 2nd Ave. I think.
Not the L.
Not
The
the L. No, the L is old. There's a new line that they were putting that was
or the
going up, I
shuttle.
think, on the east side.
Not the shuttle.
Nope, not the shuttle. It only opened in, well, you've been here. So, okay, let's get
Right. So I was like, maybe I don't know, which is crazy.
let's get to matters at hand. And so, as a Black woman grown up in the Bronx, what was your inspiration? What was it that led you on the journey to going into journalism?
Right. So I think of it very simply. When I was younger, my dad watched a lot of news, a lot of CNN. And I just remembered watching him get so angry, yelling at the screens, pointing at Anderson Cooper's face on the TV, saying, "Oh, rah, rah, rah. I don't really like what he's saying here, blah, blah, blah." And then I would think to myself, wow, I feel like it'd be really fun to be on that screen. That's how it started with me thinking that I wanted to be on camera, which I'm not saying that
You
I
wanted to be on camera.
yes,
Okay.
but I think it has definitely shifted since then because I realized that I almost think I can make more of an impact off camera in this moment of time, but that might change. Yeah, so that's where it really started. I was just interested in this very simple job idea where all you had to do was share information with people. And that's where I feel like my strengths lie. I was a curious person. I like learning about things and I like absorbing information. And my friends always joke around about how like Mariam just knows everything. Like you can ask her what time this is or when this is gonna happen or what event this is, and I'll know it for some reason because I just like absorbing information and I like sharing information.
Yeah.
So I thought about that simple concept and I was like, well, I can't really think of anything else to study besides journalism. So that's the path I've been on for a long time, actually. And I just haven't changed it since.
There's a little bit of a twist with your journey in the fact that you're also majoring in psychology.
Right.
And so we're about to have I wonder, do you know the names Theodore Stern, Dr.
Mhm.
Greg Friccione?
Mhm.
The textbooks, I work for both of them.
Oh, wow.
For over 2 years. And so we can really correlate kind of my next set of questions for you. First, let's explore, or let me just simply ask, journalism and then this major in psychology. How are you correlating them? Did you just have an interest? What was why the psychology interest, though you're on a track in journalism?
Right. It started out very randomly.
Okay.
I was majoring in
Thank you for your
journalism.
transparency.
Yeah. I was majoring in journalism and I thought to myself, I was like, I want to add a minor. I'm bored. Like BU's journalism major doesn't take up all of the 4 years. So I was like, I think it'd be useful to know how people's brains work. Like it's very simple as that. So I was like, let me throw on this minor. And then once I started telling people that I was studying both, like people's reactions were always like, wow, that makes so much sense. That fits so well together, which I didn't think people would say until I started taking classes and I figured out that at the basics of it all, journalism is just communicating with people. And to learn how to communicate, you have to know how people are going to receive messages and ideas. And to learn that, you have to understand how people's brains work. Like it's very 1, 2, 3 in my head. And I think we learn a lot of concepts in psych about how people only latch on and retain to ideas that actually relate to them or that they can connect to in some way or somehow. So I think learning that helps me remember like what stories I want to tell or how I want to tell them in a way that people will actually relate to it. Because if you just throw a bunch of details at somebody that they don't see any relation and I think it'll go in one ear and out the other.
So again, I told you in the pre-convo that I vibe off of your energy and your answer, and Anissa has notes here and everything, but so you talked about the fact that, and I knew where I asked the question so the audience could really understand, and Heidi caught it right, hit the head on the nail. I can see journalism in psychology. And it is so interesting, Miriam, because you cited that people tend to, in layman's terms, latch on to media or the idea of where they get the media from, usually associated, if you will, with their values, with their
Mhm.
life experience. And so there is a lot of narrative telling in the media right now about people experiences of folks that look like us. And so, I can go a couple of different ways with this, because there's the other side of psychology and journalism where, as a black woman who's in it, who see what's going on with Dr. Gay, who sees the attacks on the local mayor here, Asian woman who speaks Spanish, it's very interesting. And so if I can for a minute ask you to first tell us about, you mentioned early that you had a lot of internships and you've had a lot of opportunities as a black woman moving in this space. What has that been like for you? And then the second answer of that, second part of that question is, what is the psychological impact of you moving in journalism, because you're in it.
Mhm.
So you have a lens that you see through journalism. You're investigative. You said you always know stuff and want to know and inquisitive, but then you got this little psychology thing going on that gives you a whole different lens to filter what it is you're observing. So what has
Mhm.
it been like? And then what's been the impact on those observations?
Right. It's been very interesting. All in all, I'm
Stop,
very
because interesting is my word for when I don't want to say what I'm thinking, or I don't know how to say what I'm thinking. So,
no, I'm gonna just stay with me.
yes, ma'am. Go. Oh,
I I okay, so all in all, I'm very grateful, to say the least. Like, I'm very grateful that I've somehow been able to do work with WTBU at BU and intern with GBH and study abroad in Sydney and intern with their Today show. Like, I think about my experiences and I'm like, wow, that's very insane. And it's this interesting phenomenon that I've experienced where I think sometimes things come easy when I'm in these spaces where it feels like people are very overly enthusiastic in like accepting me into their space and like overly explaining matters that I have to do and like overly trying to like cater to make sure like I'm comfortable, but then that sometimes feels like I'm not being challenged or like I'm not being asked to do the same level of work as other interns in the space. So it's this weird thing to navigate because you feel like you shouldn't have any complaints. Like you feel like you should be grateful and that you're getting the easy
oh,
end of the
yes,
stick. But at the same time, you're like you feel like you're not being like treated with the expectation to succeed at more higher level challenges. So it's a very strange thing to navigate. And I had to learn to simply ask like for what I wanted because at the Today show, for example, like they basically had me starting off helping to pick clips to include in their segments. And then as I came in every day and toured the space, I was thinking like, can I have some time in the control room? Can I touch the floor? Can I work with the floor manager? Can I help with talent? And eventually by week 2, week 3, I asked for those things and I got to experience all of those things. And I think that's the most that I could get out from an internship like that because I- like of course I love the idea of being able to master a specific skill, but I more would love the idea of being able to get a versatile
yeah,
experience of the whole
yeah,
station, especially as an intern who's still in college. From a psychological perspective, I just feel like I'd have to learn to be patient with people and have to take seconds to properly word what I really want because like for example, if I'm getting a large workload from my supervisor, I had to learn not to say, oh, like I feel like I'm getting too much work, because that's not where it's like the problem lies in what kind of work I'm receiving, because I don't mind a lot of work, but if I feel like it's not challenging me or not exposing me to the proper resources, then yeah, exactly. So I think, like, as a simple foundational no, I just had to learn how to word things differently in a way that still kind of complements the person that I'm talking to, while still getting what I want from it, if that makes sense, which kind of sounds manipulative if I think about it.
Let's pause for a minute. There's nothing wrong with manipulation.
Mhm.
Term manipulate means to take some things, recalibrate them, and present them.
Mhm.
Most of the time, I think manipulation is because it's usually associated with someone wanting a negative outcome of the recalibration of what they did.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with manipulation. I just needed to throw that in because that were being an opportunist. And
Mhm.
I understand the context, the spirit of what you're saying. But the law, a lot of people in the law of what you're saying is anyway. But being an opportunist and manipulating things for the good, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I agree.
I wanted to ask you even more so. You did a little bit, and it was kind of indicated in the answer to the last set of questions I asked you, but even more in the psychological impact. As a Black woman, you cited that, there's this overzealousness. Look, we got Mariam in the room, probably one of a few, maybe a Latina sister, maybe an Asian woman, maybe maybe one person from the LGBTQ community. And so they're overzealous. And then also what I heard from you was they didn't have the same expectation of you living up to the rigor
Mhm.
of other folks, if I'm correct.
Mhm.
And so in the it's interesting. You talked about how you responded to the psychological impact of being patient,
Mm.
needing to give your words with grace, and whatnot. And there's still some element of how we respond to things sometimes based on what's in the back of our mind about what they may presume about us.
For
And
sure.
so if I could ask you, you gave how you responded, but you talked a little bit about the workload. But as a Black woman, where was that? Did you have to tap really into your psychological what is that you're taking psychology? Did you have to tap into your psychology training for you? Because at times you were just sitting there like, really? Like, yo, like, come on. Like, was there any moment like that?
Mm.
And if not, fine.
Right. I'm trying to think how to word it, but I think in general, I just had to remind myself
Mm,
where my priority lies, because in
okay.
psych we talk a lot about like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and that basically the concept that you can't ask for C before you get A, like you have to work up the pyramid. So
Yep.
I had to like remind myself, like, is this the time to start being nitpicky about wanting to write a segment my own way, or is this the time to simply get the segments that I want to write first? For example, like that's I think a lot of where the psychology came out of on the day to day, and I think that logic has what helped me actually increasingly grow and to build rapport with people, because then by the time I get to step B, we're at a more lenient place, like with my supervisors, that I can ask for step C. And I was also going to say that it's a very interesting thing to navigate, this idea of being like people being overzealous about a Black woman in the office, because for someone like me, you can ask anyone, I have a extremely extroverted personality. Like, I'm very bubbly and talkative and
You can say talkative on here. That's fine.
yeah. Oh, okay. So it's hard to distinguish. It's like, are they reacting like this because this is actually how my personality is, or are they just overcompensating for my identity? And it's like, I can't, like, sometimes I actually can't know which one is which. But I don't know. Some days I try not to think too hard about things. I try to just.
I appreciate, and I sense something in that exhale.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so, it is a lot. And so we want to send strength and black joy your way, because it is a lot to navigate in this space. You're coming from the Bronx, coming into Boston. At some point, I do want to hear your perspective on the. She said, I want to hear your perspective on the culture, the
Mhm.
impression of Boston and nightlife in comparison, and
Mhm.
yeah, that might have to be after dark. But we'll hear it today.
Mhm.
One of the other things I want to ask you about is you talked about navigating the challenge of getting a segment told or told how you wanted another segment told or whatever. How important is it that we set the foundation and our stories are narrated, our narratives are narrated by those that share our experience, black and brown voices? How important is that?
I think it's extremely important for us to at least start doing that before it then gets passed on to other voices in time. Because I think if we're the ones to start it, we are building that foundation, and we are building the rules that then other people can follow. And like, you hear all this time that you have to learn rules before you can break them. But if you're the one that's making the rules, then it's what other people can then follow to maybe then break later on. But now you're the foundation as opposed to the exception. So
I
yeah.
can I ask a question? And you're
Hmm.
not supposed to ask women this, but how old are you?
I'm 21. I forgot.
You're 21 years old.
Don't gas me. Don't gas me.
It's not a point of gassing you, woman. I just so much wisdom and grace. Pastor Marion is talking about Miriam, to Miriam from Mary
Oh,
Ann.
wow.
As you continue to grow so graciously, your perspective and concerns of other um
Mm.
perspective of you will decrease. Keep up the good work, or the great work rather. Heidi said very Anissa is in the room, Miriam. Heidi, girl.
You guys need to stop. My head is big enough. I tell people this all the time and they don't believe me, but I'm being serious.
I don't sense a perception of big-headedness. I sense a perception of knowing who you are.
Mhm.
And 21. All right,
Mhm.
this ain't after dark, so I can't cuss the way I want. My mother's in the room right now.
Oh, hi, mom.
So oh Jesus. As I'm telling you now, be careful, because if you on Facebook
Mm.
in a couple of weeks, hi baby, how you
Oh,
doing?
Lord.
I enjoyed you on the show. Just checking
Aw,
on you.
I'm
Um,
ready for it.
it's okay, let me back up. I told you I respond off of your energy, and so is everybody else in here. They're like really that's Tashad said, that's oh my god, are you aware of Boston While Black?
Yeah. I
Are you
keep
going to
hearing
become a
it.
member? I mean, you're ending up, but
Yeah,
sis,
I know. It's
uh,
something I've been thinking about, but
you on these last few months, plug.
Mhm.
One of our one of the staff is in the room, and I'm a member as well. And I wish, because right around the timing, oh, wish you could have got you in, because it would have been you can see that you've been able to navigate being here, and keeping to your authentic self, with
Mhm.
navigating how it's been coming to Boston. So let me deviate real quick and just tap into that.
Mhm.
Bronx to Boston, black culture, black media, your impressions, your observations, and then I would love to hear your suggestions.
Mhm. A lot of people from the Bronx come to school in Boston because it's the next like large city and it's far enough, but not too far, which
Okay.
I fell into that same threshold. I was like, yeah, Boston sounds cute. When I was coming to Boston, everyone I told was like, Boston? Are you sure? Like Boston,
Why?
Boston?
Why?
Like, because they would be like, isn't Boston one of the most racist places in the country? And I would react to really, like honestly, everywhere is racist. Like I really don't foresee myself finding that as a reason to not go somewhere ever, which maybe is a dramatic statement, but at least 90% of the time, like I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do with that. Like I'm still gonna go.
Yep.
But
Yep.
anyways, it's definitely different. In the Bronx, I feel like when it comes to diversity, when it comes to Black people, like there's no missing it. Like you step outside, it's
It's
like,
there.
like
Yeah.
it's literally full force. Even I will generalize it to New York City in general. Like it's just I truly feel like there is no segregation in any large section of New York. Like in most places you'll go.
In one section up in Brooklyn, up at the top of Noll
I
Street.
knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say that. Besides those niche areas that I try not to think about, everywhere else, like 80% is a nice meshing where you truly see little inklings and dots of a lot of different types of people. In Boston, it just, for lack of better words, seems more segregated, which I'm also coming from the point of view where I definitely still don't know Boston at all. Like I've said this for years, and it's just I think one of my college faults. I don't regret anything, but one of my college faults is putting so much onto myself on this campus that it takes up so much of my time that I don't get enough time to go to different areas around Boston. But with that being said, I had brunch at Seven Hills like a few weeks ago, and I still get
out
around.
Okay.
But so yeah, I just think it's a little more segregated in Boston, and it's like it's very clear. Like you have to cross Mass Ave, you have to cross like certain streets to really see the other side. But I think once you do see it, it's honestly can be comparable to what I see in the Bronx, to be honest. When I went to Mattapan last semester and I saw rainbows and a Senegalese restaurant, I said, wow, I'm basically home. Like, this is crazy.
We did have Golden Crest up there for a while too.
Yes, I saw that, but I've never been a fan of Golden Crest. Sorry if I'm gonna insult somebody, but it's okay.
Oh, you're good. You won't be getting no sponsorship from Golden Crest.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't need it.
Okay. But no, what about the nightlife?
Right. Oh, right.
Well,
okay. Well, I'm literally 21.
So yeah, you
so
can't really go outside.
I can't say too much, but very simply put, we all know that places in Boston close much earlier than places in New York, and that's really the only point that I fixate on. I feel like everything else is comparable, but it's like clubs and things closing at 2 a.m. is very baffling for me because like I'm used to leaving my house at midnight.
At 1:30.
Yes, like
1:30. Like, come on.
It's really bad. Like I really, in New York's mentality, is the night starts at midnight. Listen. At least. So it's like when you have places closing at 2, it's like, what is going on? And a lot of other factors play into that, like the public transportation stopping at, I don't know, 1:30-ish. Yep. And it's like for such a college town, such a college city, that's what surprised me the most, because college students are out late, so you would think that you would have public transportation to accommodate that, but I guess not. So that's the only thing where I'm like, that's interesting. And like I miss the delis, I miss the sandwich.
Oh God, and every corner at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, you could go to the store, you could get and the sandwiches, and just the markets where they would have the fruit outside of like every market, and it would be good quality fruit.
Yes, my mom would send me to those all the time.
Listen, your chili pepper sauce. Stop playing. All right, so let's stay focused. I'm sorry. Last question about observation. Black media in Boston. Right. Visual, writing. What has been your observation of how the Black voice elevates itself here in Boston? More in the media and journalism space first, and then I'd like to get your perspective on how you see us moving in this city around different issues.
I feel like Black stories in journalism in Boston are always said with big exclamation points around them. Like, I feel like they aren't just embellished
Come,
into.
embellish, embedded. Come.
I feel like they're not like naturally mixed into your everyday news stories and into your everyday voices. I feel like whenever there's a story written by a Black voice or about a Black life, like it has to be big and passionate and dramatic. And it's like, does it always have to be like that? Can it not just mesh into it? But it's also, I say that again, from being on a college campus, and the news that I get exposed to are the classic Boston Globe and the publications that my school produces. So again, I don't think I'm getting an accurate view of all the publications that are in Boston, of course, but
You're
yeah.
you got a good perspective. And what I heard from you was the, embellished, embedded in it the roller coaster. You get a hype around a negative story, a shooting, a
Mhm.
13-year-old child being killed.
Mhm.
And then you get a story like Joseph Bennett and the Bennett family, and some level of sensationalizing something
Mhm.
that changed the
Definitely.
trajectory of his and his family's life forever. And that is and it resonates with me because I've been moving in this space for a couple of years, and I've been shying away from the term journalism. I've been shying away from the term media. And here I am on GBH and about to do some other stuff. And I'm now comfortable in the fact that, I'm not chasing a family that's dealing with mourning, but I often see what you said, and it really makes me cringe because I want to be the one to go in and have that convo with that family that know what you said about setting the rules,
Mhm.
and they can't do that. There's
Mhm.
very few in legacy media. Latoya, Kwani, Malcolm, maybe a few of them, NBC and whatnot, and Paris and them from GBH and
Mhm.
Ali and all of them. But that legacy major media doesn't often leave space for our stories to be a continuing, sustained timeline. Yeah, with peaks, good stuff, always. And then sometimes some lows, and we got to tell the truth. And so that resonated with me when you talked about the fact of one, we set the rules, because I'm embracing that now. Thank you for listening to my TED Squawk. Um, and no, it just really makes so much. We need that. And I've said to someone else that, coming out of COVID, these next couple of years, how we dictate our narrative based on what we're really going to see, folks
Mhm.
like us are going to be paramount to ensure that our stories are being told.
Yes.
Um, Go ahead.
Yes.
Any response there?
Right. Just I think you had previously asked me where I see kind of Boston Black media going, and what you just said kind of prompted that idea that I think, or maybe it's just my hope, that the Black stories will become more embellished into our everyday routine. And I was gonna bring up this phenomenon where I used to feel guilty for almost not wanting to cover like very dramatic and sad Black stories. Like, I used to feel bad because it was like, oh, like, I'm a Black woman, journalism, Boston, like I should want to like cover it all, and I should want to dig through all the dirt of like exposing this really dramatic, powerful story, when in reality, like, I just want to tell Black joy stories. Like, I
Um,
just want to, what I really want to cover is, I love feature stories. I love spotlighting specific people, spotlighting specific small businesses, restaurants, very wholesome content, as my friends would say. in that regard. Like, I just want to find somebody, get them on the phone, have a conversation with them, and then put that in a piece of writing. But it almost seems like that's not it almost seems like that there's not a need for that in the bigger publications. Yeah, which I don't think is true. I think it's just being perceived that way. I don't know. But
it's interesting because I've had some convos with some of my friends that they break news, and I'm like, yo, some people, yes, a lot of times when the mayor and whatnot come on, and I'm itching and getting them to, about it is important to get drops. It is important to get drops and exclusives, and oftentimes they get to these folks because they have the resources, they have the staff, I ain't got that. I'm barely keeping with the Davis system, So it is just so interesting, but that also identifies a lot of the inequity in this space, because you need to be supported. I need to be supported. Bay State Banner needs to be supported. All these segments that GBH are getting ready to do in diversity, they need to be supported. And so this wound up being also a time of a peer, what do you call it? Peer sharing. I don't know. Peer networking, peer education. This was good. And you're 20 years old. Yo, Miguel.
21.
Have you heard of the Real Boston Media?
Good morning.
Oh, shoot. I'm so excited. I done said the boy's name.
Oh, yes.
Real. Bro, you need to. Have you heard of that platform over on Twitter?
I don't think I have.
You
Real
need to.
No, I don't have.
Are you on Twitter?
Yes.
Judge you just a little
Secretly.
bit. Let me find out you got a burner account. Be out here slapping some of the trolls.
Anyways, next question. But okay,
that was good. Listen, we're going to get it ready to wrap up. It's 9:40. We're a little bit over time. I think I covered everything Anissa sent to me. In my own way, I did. I covered all 3 points.
In my own way.
Challenges.
I'm gonna ask Anissa.
Huh?
I'm gonna ask Anissa, like, did he actually cover it, or
I did. Look. Navigating challenges in media.
Okay.
The power of authentic narratives. Implied.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I like you, but I don't. Influence and representation.
Okay.
We covered all 3, right?
That's true. Enough said.
I wish I met you when I first got started. Lord Jesus.
I think about that a lot, because like I would have loved to be in this space, because I had this thought 60 seconds ago where I was gonna say that, like, when you was talking about breaking news and things, like, I don't really have an interest of breaking news. Like, sometimes I question if I really want to be in a journalistic field, because how it's been explained to me is different than how I perceive it. And how I perceive it is really just this, like, talking to people and engaging in conversation and telling stories. And this is what I actually want to do. Like, I just want to have a talk show. I don't know how to get there, but
we can talk.
Oh, noted.
Because all right, you get ready to take me in a whole different place. So I'm gonna get you up off my screen, Jesus. How can folks contact you, follow you? Do you have anything coming out soon? Do you have any pieces, any bylines that we can share with folks? What is your don't tell us the Twitter. What is the best way for folks to follow you?
I'm on LinkedIn, Mariam Hydara, as clear as day. I'm pretty sure I'm easy to find. It's the only face that looks like this.
Hydara?
That's correct.
Okay.
I am also on Instagram. I don't know if
Maybe on Instagram.
Sure, that's XX_.
Wait a minute.
Mariam with 3 M's at the end.
Never mind.
That's it. Do I have anything?
XX_ Mariam and 3 what at the end?
With 3 M's at the end. So like.
Oh, okay.
MARIAM.
You're going to tell me in a second if I got it right. All right. So this is LinkedIn. And then is this?
Oh, no. The first name was misspelled, but the Instagram.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Let me fix it. Lord Jesus.
That's okay.
You were editor too?
Just a little.
Okay. Yeah, I wish I did. Meet
That's
you
hard.
early on Jesus. All right, Mariam, Mariam. I got
Yes.
that. And then did I get the Insta? This Instagram is funny.
Fantastic. Why is it funny? I think it's nice and concise.
There's two things in there that make my eyebrow go.
That's okay. But yeah.
Okay. I like you're 20 years old. 21. You had to remember.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my, listen. Okay. I am playing nice real. She what you call it? I could see her at a combo. Have you been to Estella's? Oh, you can't.
Everyone, no, I haven't
You
yet.
can go now.
I went to Hugh like last week.
Okay. So we could get you. Shout out to brother Rob. Hugh did you go downstairs?
There's a downstairs. I feel like there was only downstairs when I went, actually.
Okay. I was getting ready.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting off of here before a real starts texting me. No, we'll definitely get you to Estella's before you leave. Don't be surprised if things work out and your offer comes from Boston.
That'll be something.
I truly appreciate it. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate you coming in. Got me over here choking. In the Java Cafe today. It really means so much. Thank you for some inspiration. Thank you for some nuggets. And thank you for being your authentic self. We got a whole mother's board in the Java Cafe. And so y'all add Mariam they got a list. They got prayer lists that they pray for people. So y'all add Sister Mariam to that list and keep her covered, because I plan to look up one day, either be invited somewhere from across it. Alexa, cancel. Sorry.
Unserious.
You're not going to be. But no, I one day plan to walk in, either get an invitation from you at some big major Black platform that you and others collaborated on, or I'm a part of, or whatever, and really start creating more of these spaces, and hopefully before you leave, I've had this thought of pulling together creatives in this space. Just with the first one is no agenda. We got food, a little bit. You're 21. A little bit of libations. We'll pour out to, W.E.D. Boys and all of our ancestors that trailblazed for us to have our voices, and just share. People like Janae Alsterhold, and whatnot, that writes for the Globe, and just to, I know they would love to meet
I just met her.
Oh,
anyways,
where did you meet her at? On Thursday at the Creatives event, or where, or at Museum?
There was an event at the Howard Thurman Center here, like last week.
Howard
Thurman Center with their marketing team.
Oh, was that the no,
for the Embrace showing?
Oh, when they had the conversation about the documentary. She's so work that relationship with all due respect. She tap into her. Tap into her, because I could see, I already, like, I can't believe you just met her. As I was saying, I could see you two like building, and so all right, get off my screen. We're gonna be in touch. I'll send my cell phone number in the email, because we going, when you leave?
May-ish, I don't know, like early May
for now. So anyway, we'll talk at another time. That plan might be extended. You never know.
We'll see.
I love your candor. I love your candor. Mariam, in all seriousness, thank you for being with us. Really unveiling your voice during this Black History Month and all year long, and everything that you do. The one thing that we did not do is we got your handles and stuff. Do you have any pieces coming out, or a link? We have a private chat here. If there's a link that you want to put in a private chat that I could share, that folks could link to a story or anything where folks can support you, please let us know.
Noted. I'm actually trying to think. I don't think there's anything pressing right now, but everything is linked on my LinkedIn. So
okay, so y'all go to LinkedIn. Some of the mother's board is not on LinkedIn. So we might have to, they ain't linking. So we're gonna have to figure out how to get them some information, or links to maybe read your stories and different things. But look forward to chatting with you more. We'll get you information about the anniversary in a few weeks. I would love for you to come out and just be a part of that. I need to get you on a panel soon. Yeah, we ain't got no budget.
Uh-oh. That's good.
Mariam, get off my screen. And
Bye.
pleasure meeting you, and we'll talk soon, hon. Thank you, seriously.
Thank you so.
Yes, ma'am. Yo, I like her. There's something about her that is genuine, that is real. Yo, Anthony, bro. Where was she 2.5 years ago? Imagine her and then y'all joining last year, and then oh my God. But yeah, we haven't heard the last from her yet. She was amazing. Listen, we are continuing. Speaking of amazing, we have so much lined up for you for the rest of this week. Tomorrow morning, we're continuing talking in the vein of unveiling voices in our community. And I have the wonderful honor and privilege of speaking with Kwani Lunis. She is the digital host, 10 Questions with NBC News correspondent at the Hub today as well. And so we're talking with another Black queen about raising their voice in the Black community. Another voice that is being raised is the Coalition for a Resilient and Inclusive Waterfront. On Wednesday morning, we get the opportunity to speak with Marcia Kim, Reverend Willie Broderick, and also Lala Pearson. All three of them a part of, well, two of them are a part of the American City Coalition, as well as Marcia, who's been a guest with us before, is part of the West Fairmont Hill Community Group. And all three of them move to bring attention and equity and resilience and inclusion to Boston's waterfront. That will be on Wednesday morning. And then on Thursday morning at 9 a.m., on the last day of the official Black History Month noted in America, we're going to continue a conversation that we started last year with Sheena Collier, founder and CEO of the Collier Connection and Boston While Black, and Dart Adams himself, journalist, researcher, and lecturer. They're going to be with us to talk about their perspectives of Black history, excuse me, not only here in Boston, but across the country as well. And as we are transitioning from Black History Month into Women's History Month, we are also going to speak with Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. She is our Congresswoman for the Mass District 7. We're going to talk about Black history and also just women's history and what's going on, from what the country's trying to do around women regulating their bodies. We're going to talk some policy, but we're going to have y'all know Ayanna's my sister. We're going to have a real conversation. And so we have some things percolating for you this week. We are coming up on our anniversary in the next few weeks. Don't forget March 21st through March 23rd. March 21st, WGBH at 12 noon. March 22nd in the evening, the Red Cup Awards. And then March 23rd, I'm tired. March 23rd, the day party at Estella's. And so, mothers, I really need y'all to plan on coming on Friday evening, March 22nd, to the Red Cup Awards like you all did last year. I understand Miss Teresa is doing some things for y'all. And so, yes, more information is coming out about that soon. A couple of those things are ticketed events. And so we'll have more information out about that. And I think that's it for me today. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else going on. Not that I need anything else going on. I also wanted to bring to your attention, if you are an entrepreneur, at BECMA, they strive to provide programs and services that make a meaningful impact on our community success. By completing a survey that I'll share with you in a second, you have the opportunity to share your valuable insights and help us gauge the value of our programs and services, the value of the programs and services have had on your business. So I would like to ask you to consider going to BECMA. I'm going to get the link up in just 1 second for you all to go to BECMA and do that survey. If you are a member, that makes it just even a little better. But even if you are not a member, and I believe it's interesting because I'm not sure if this is all case driven. I know when I do my Bitly links, I'm going to put this in the comments. And if someone could just test, I know Bitly gets a little funny with the case. What did I just see from Real Boston Media? I'm about to get him real quick. But check this out with BECMA, everyone. Please fill out this form And if you've had any interaction with BECMA, you're interacting with BECMA right now. They have been a supporter, green, line through the S, to the Java with Jimmy platform. And so if you've been impacted, if you're an entrepreneur, if you've attended a workshop, if you've done anything, please fill out that link there. So if someone, Heidi, thank you. Heidi and Miss Teresa and Anthony said, thank y'all for having my back, said the link works. What did Real say? I would try not to speak to you this week so you can get everything done. Don't want to turn this to an after dark. Asia, please fill that. Asia, good to see you in the room. I know you'll be catching the after watch. Good to see you in the room live. We get you in here at least 3, sometimes 4 times a week. Good to see you in. Thank you all for checking the link. That is it for me today. Shout out to everybody that was listening over on Instagram. Thank you all for joining us over there. And I believe that is it for today. So we will see you guys tomorrow. Show what picture, Ma? Oh, I'm not showing that picture right now. How Ma know about it, Teresa? So, Miss Teresa, uh-oh. Anissa, hold on. I'm about to send Anissa a text. This is good news, but I just need to make sure it's real. All right. So, this morning I wake up and Miss Teresa sends me a picture. And I really didn't want to share it for a lot of reasons. Nothing bad, but just, just interesting. So I get this text this morning and Miss Teresa says, the kids have an assignment to draw 2 important people in Black history. Ella chose 6 and Ethan chose 4. I had them do it over the vacation, so it is finished. This is one of the 6 Ella drew. Do you recognize him? Ethan chose Michael Jackson, Oscar Robertson, Henry T. Sampson, and W.E. Du Bois. Ella chose Kamala Harris, Madam C.J. Walker, Ruby Bridges, Ella Fitzgerald, Althea Gibson, and James Jimmy Hills. This is Ella's depiction of her Black History person, one of them, for Black History Month. And so I'm humbled by that. That is crazy. So I showed the picture of Ma and Miss Teresa. Don't y'all be ganging up on me. Well, who said what? You could tell when Jimmy is shy, skeptical. Whatever. You don't know me. That picture deserves no. She Googled me. All right, I'm getting off this phone. I mean, I'm getting off this. We will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with Kwani Lunis. Don't forget Wednesday, the Waterfront Coalition. Thursday, we will speak with Sheena and Dart. And then on Friday, a special Java with Jimmy with our Congresswoman Ayanna Presley. Yes. Also, don't forget the BECMA thing, the BECMA survey. So please fill that out as well. And we'll talk to you guys later. Ma and Real, don't be in here laughing at me. I'm getting off of here. I need to go decompress because she was good this morning. That woman, I want to see what comes out of her when she's like 30 and 40. We're looking to see her in the background on the Today. Forget the Today Show. ABN, America's Black Network. Y'all have a wonderful day. And we'll talk to you all. Miss Teresa, I saw that. Y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. All right.